As we've pointed out, one of our concerns is minimizing the number of network connections we need to make on each request. In the same way that we combine CSS into one file and JavaScript into one file, we can mash all of the images we need into one big file and use a technique called image spriting. To perform spriting, we place all of the images next to each other in one big image. Just make sure there's enough space. And then we use some CSS tricks to only show the image we want. We're going to use this technique on our tab bar using this graphic. As you can see, all of the graphics we need are in one file. Usually we would simply drop a background image onto the A element, but we want to keep the text as a label. And if the text is wider than the image, we would see the neighboring sprites, which isn't what we want. Of course, we could drop in another span and set the background of that, but why should we insert extra markup when we don't need to? Instead, we're going to use the after pseudo class to dynamically insert the image. To see what the before and after pseudo classes do, let's temporarily place a paragraph tag inside our app. And then we'll add in some text before and after it via CSS. Voila! As you can see, it's inserted the text. A little known extension of this trick is inserting images, which is exactly what we're going to do. So let's add the image to the Spots tab. You can see that it has definitely dropped the image in, but we need to crop it. There's a CSS rule for that. It's called clip, and that's exactly what we're going to use. You might not have heard of it, but it's been around for a very long time. So this will clip our image just like we wanted to. Note that it only works on absolutely positioned elements though. Now we just need to position it properly. By setting left to 50% and a negative margin equal to half the width of the image, we get it nicely centered. To indicate a selected state, we have a yellow version of our little spot graphic that is 18 pixels to the right of the unselected version. So let's set up the CSS for that. We're going to use the class name of the nav element to set the selected state. It makes sense that we need to modify the clip region as the image we want is further along, but why has the margin left changed? The clip rule doesn't resize the image, it just hides everything outside of the clip region, so the image we want is still 18 pixels from the left. We can use a negative margin of negative 18 pixels to bring it back into view, but don't forget the negative 10 pixels we're adding to center the icon. That's where the additional 28 pixels comes from.